Okay, class, I have one more question about a noun or a verb for you. Let's take the word hear. All right. I can hear you very well. Hear. What part of speech is hear, class? Is it a noun or a verb? And make sure we think for a second before we just make a guess, because we know how to figure it out. We don't want to guess. What part of speech is hear? Is it something you can do? It is. So what part of speech is it? Good. Here is a verb. All right, but wait. Our past tense of hear, we just learned it yesterday. What's our past tense of hear? Heard. Class, does heard, does that use ed to make it past tense? Let's see. Hear, heard. There is a d at the end, but our middle sound is different, so we don't just add ed. All right, is here, since it does not use ed to make it past tense, is it a regular verb or an irregular verb? I hope we remember that irregular verbs are the ones that do not use ed to make them past tense. Let's go down to our first free line on page 19, where we have our irregular verbs. All right, so in our first column, our present and future tense, we're going to write here. And remember, you hear with your ear, so we use E, A. All right, go ahead and write here and mark it. All right, pause the video till you're finished. It's E, R. All right, good. All right, let's skip to the third column for just a minute to our past tense. All right, now what is our past tense of hear? Good, it's heard. And which do we use in heard? The kind you do with your ear? Good, we use the of early. So go ahead and write and mark heard in that third column. All right, class, and heard. With the past tense of hear, which did you use? Good, the of early. Heard. All right, let's go ahead and add in our present and ongoing as well. So that one is hearing. She is hearing the music and it is too loud. So remember, we always need our helping verb is. All right, hearing, how many syllables? All right, pretty soon I can stop asking you that, I think, because I think we're starting to remember that ing always gets its own syllable. So for hearing, all we're going to do is write our base word here, and then in a new syllable, add our suffix ing. All right, so our ing is nice and easy because our regular verbs too, they always use ing for our present and ongoing. Is hearing. All right, and let's do our past and ongoing. So that's our fourth column. And that one, again, we're going to use our past tense, but we just use the past tense helping verb. So we would say has heard. She has heard her favorite song 4 times this week. Has heard. So go ahead and write that and mark it. So we just add that helping verb in there. And then the second part of it is the same word that we had in the past tense. Has heard. All right. Nice job, class. Now we had another verb in our words today. It was study. And we learned the past tense. Class, for the past tense of study, do we use ed-dit past tense ending? We sure do. Remember studied? All right, studied. So that means that study is not an irregular verb. It's what kind of verb? Good, it is a regular verb. Oh my, we don't have very many in here yet. Good thing we get to add another one. All right, so in our first column, we're just going to write our base word, study. Make sure you do the syllables. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, so what's our first syllable in study? Good, stud. And which E do we use in our second syllable? Good, yeah. I-E. Okay, now let's see, our present and ongoing form is the next one. So that is studying. Is studying. But wait, before we do that, class, if we're adding ing, do we do our Y exchange rule? Remember, the Y exchange rule is for any suffix that does not start with I. Does ing start with I? It sure does. All right, so we do not do our Y exchange rule when we're adding ing. So is studying, we're just going to write our helping verb is first, and then study, and then add on that syllable ing. No Y exchange. Go ahead and write is studying, and then mark it. All right, so again, these ings, adding ing is very nice. It's pretty simple. Is. First syllable stays the same. Our second syllable stays the same since we're adding a suffix that starts with I. All right, our past tense is, since it's regular, we know we're going to use ed-dit to make it past tense. The past tense is studied, but let's see, which rule do we have to use when we're adding suffixes to this word? Good, we have to use our Y exchange. So for studied, we trade our Y for an I, and then we add our ed-dit. So write and mark studied. All right, so our first syllable is still stud. Our E this time is I-E, as we trade our Y for an I, and then we add our ed-dit, past tense ending. All right, and we'll do our last form as well, present and past and ongoing. So that one, again, we use our past tense, and then we just add the helping verb, so it would be has studied. She has studied very hard this week. has studied. So studied is exactly the same. We do that Y exchange. We just need that helping verb has first. So has studied. Has studied. All right, nice job with those verbs, class. We'll do another short video putting these words in our lessons section, and we'll write a couple sentences, and then we'll be done.